The Iranian woman who was sentenced to stoning for allegedly having an illicit relationship with two men has been tortured into confessing that she took part in her husband's murder.
Now, do we have confirmation that she was tortured into confessing?
No. The only confirmation I have is common sense.
No.
No. Let me tell you how clownish this is. First of all, they blurred her face. This was a TV broadcast in Iran. And they blurred her face, and you don't even hear her voice. They have someone translating for her. So you don't even know if it's her. Okay?
Yeah, she's Azari Turkish, and so she doesn't speak Farsi. So they have to translate it for her. That gives them a convenient excuse. Blur her face, change her voice.
Why blur her face?
Yeah, this is so, see, she confessed on national television. Okay, I don't trust the Ahmadinejad government at all. At all. Okay? So now they say, oh, by the way, before we're going to stone her to death for adultery, but, oh, did we forget to mention she also killed her husband? Wait, where did that come from, right? So they say, oh, no, she confessed that she took part of the murder. She let this guy come into her house and electrocute her husband, and et cetera, et cetera. I mean, look, I don't want to, Anna, I don't want to get too much into other governments' business about who do you kill, you know, because we have the death penalty.
Yes, that's a good point, and I have a comment on that in a
right.
second.
And, you know, did she do the murder? Did she not? Was she an accessory? That gets too much in the weeds, right? And so I don't know. I mean, I don't trust Ahmadinejad, so I don't believe anything he says. But there's one thing I do know. It's the 21st century. We shouldn't be burying women up to their chest, which is what they do, so they can't even move their hands. Guys get buried up to their waist.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So women can't even move their hands. They're buried up to their chest, and they throw stones at their head until they die. That is barbaric. That's inhumane. It's the most grotesque thing I've ever heard, and it should be an embarrassment to all of Iran that your government does this. I mean, there's 100 different reasons to overthrow the Ahmadinejad government, which is totally illegitimate and totally lost the elections in Iran. It is not the will of the Iranian people that these guys are in charge. But, I mean, this is yet another reason why they got to go, and you got to do whatever you can to get them the hell out.
Right. Now, of course, Iran is facing a lot of international criticism because of the fact that they wanted to stone her. So what they did is they decided to hold off on the stoning. And then the reason why they brought up the murder charges is because they want to say, look, she confessed to murder. We're not going to stone her, but if she confessed to murder and she's found guilty of murder, then we're going to execute her by hanging her. And you can't criticize us for that because the United States the United States executes people for murdering an individual.
So they're like, ha, you know. Look, first of all, like we said, I don't even believe them. I mean, why did the murder charges just get brought up? Like, why was that not part of the conversation earlier? It looks like they're trying to fish for an excuse to kill her, right? And, you know, she wasn't even married, okay, at the time that they say she had these affairs. You know, so what am I going to do with you? Look, I'm not sure cavemen would have been this barbaric. I'm not sure they would have been that inhumane. Anyone who's willing to bury anyone alive, let alone a woman, and throw stones at her head until she dies is the worst person in the world, okay? And despicable beyond belief. And if you're using your religion or your culture as an excuse, then you're smearing your own religion and your own culture. And anybody in that culture or religion should be vehemently against you, should want to throw you out of the religion and throw you out of the culture to defend their honor. Otherwise, if anybody accepts that, you're grotesque.